Episode 1. The anime starts with a scene where some soldiers are present in a place where various skeletons are present around them. And then suddenly a huge spider-like skeleton creature known as Corpse God appears in front of them. This giant monster opens magical gates and throws sharp blades at the soldiers, resulting in killing many of them. Then Shagruwa Edith, known as Calamity Crusher, comes there to fight with the skeleton spider. The monster attacks on him, but Shagruwa defends himself. Then the spider makes a magical portal and summons a giant dragon. Shagruwa uses his powerful sword and cuts the dragon into two parts. The spider then summons a large army of skeletons, but Shagruwa kills in one blow. Skeleton spider then shows his true form and Shagruwa casts his magical spells and attacks on spider. But then the scene cuts and we don't know if the monster is dead or not. Polka, an injured boy, wakes up in a dark alley with an injured neck. Police officers arrive, but Misaki grabs his hand, brings him into a dark alley, and tries to kill him. Polka runs to a building where he sees dead souls with his devil's eye. He kills a skeleton spider and Shagruwa, but his soul disappears. It is transferred to Polka's body. Misaki tries to kill Polka, but Polka uses his magic and kills her with a sharp skeleton hand. Episode 2. Corpse God, who lived in a cave for centuries after losing his lover, reincarnated into Polka's body when Shagruwa attacked him. Now, he uses magic to revive Misaki, while Clarissa and her team enter the building and see him. The fire alarm alerts them and we saw that Shakuzawa building is on fire. Polka asked them to show him the way to the building because the children got trapped in the fire. Polka uses his magic and saves the lives of the family. Clarissa asked Polka about his goal in the city. Polka said that he wants power and an undisturbed place to live. Clarissa said that she would help him. Clarissa assigned two people named Misaki and Takumi who will help Polka to adjust his life in the city. Episode 3. Polka is helped by Misaki and Takumi to adjust his living room. Corpse God's soul tells Polka that his parents are on vacation. He transferred Polka's soul to Takumi's drone, stating that human lives are just toys. A person visits the building as he needs Misaki's help to save him from a gang hit. Misaki initially hesitates, but when Polka accepts the job, she agrees too. Misaki is taken to a dark place by a man at night, where she faces attacks from gang members. Despite her fighting skills, the man who brought her there shoots her. Polka arrives and uses magic to summon two large skeleton hands, crushing all the gang members. A man with blonde hair was attacked at a bar by a scary man who grabbed his neck. Polka, Misaki, and Takumi were eating, and Polka warned Misaki that she would be paralyzed if she bit someone. Then two police officers arrived at the scene, calling for medical help, and two boys also arrived to investigate the incident. Episode 4. A blonde-haired man and his team investigate recent crimes in the city. They capture skeletons aiding children in the Shakuzawa building fire. Polka summons a stuffed shark toy, transferring his soul from a drone. Misaki hugs the toy, turning it red. Corpse God apologizes to Polka's soul for using his body and identity. Corpse God, still in Polka's body, tells them that necromancers like him exorcise ghosts and convert their power into magic. Polka, a corpse god, claims he needs 1 bucket of gemstones for a peaceful life. He and Misaki discover that even a small gemstone costs over 400k yen, angering him. They encounter Detective Ares, who captures Takumi's drone, warning him of his potential to reveal secrets. Polka uses his skills to grab the drone, and Misaki kicks Ares in the gut, causing Polka and Misaki to flee. Takumi believes Ares is telling the truth about him and will reveal their secrets if necessary. Polka believes he has no secrets worth more than his friend's life. Ares investigates a footprint on his stomach at the police station, similar to a female cop's footprint from a gang member's death incident. Polka and Misaki visit a bar where a cop offers orange juice. Takumi warns Polka to flee, but a man named Lemmings appears from the dark. Episode 5. Lemmings attacked Ares and his team but evaded. Misaki tried to escape, but Polka's magic led to a skeleton hand grabbing Misaki. Misaki stabbed Lemming with a fork, paralyzing him. Polka wanted to start a fortune-telling business, so he captured the soul of a ghost and put it in Misaki's pen. The ghost gave them the idea to open a fortune-telling shop, and Polka opened it, making his first earnings through this business. Twin siblings Kazuki and Shizuki visit their uncle Polka, who ran away half a month ago. Shizuki asks Polka to tell their fortune, but Polka refuses. Takumi warns them to leave or face police action. Corpse King instructs them to return home, as Polka will return tomorrow. Polka chooses Misaki as a bodyguard for his return home, and Misaki is chosen by Polka as he needs a bodyguard. The two siblings then meet a person in their car, Takeru, who places a hit on Polka. Suzuki tells Takeru that Polka is coming home tomorrow. Takeru said that he would assign him as a babysitter. Episode 6. Then next day Polka reached his home. The twin siblings opened the door for him. Takeru also welcomes him. Misaki then introduced herself and they all sat together at the table. Then Takeru's wife grabs Misaki from behind and says if she ever needs something they will help her. Night before going to his home, Takumi tells everything about Polka's family, that he has a 30-year-old brother and Takeru who is Polka's nephew and is in charge of security. Polka's father, Reincarnated Shinoyama, arrives and apologizes for running away. The twin siblings, Suzuka and Polka, are in the hallway, and their mother Suzuka urges them to help due to the closeness of the fire. Polka and his father sit in a room, and Razan changes his behavior and asks about Polka. Polka reveals he is Razan's son, and Razan reveals they couldn't fool him and asks about the real Polka. Polka saves twin siblings Shizuki and Suzuka from danger. In a flashback, Suzuki's mother finds her lost purse in the forest, and two men trick security but burn Suzuka to ashes. The house is on fire, and the siblings are trapped inside. A bodyguard tells them to escape through a tunnel, but Shizuki suspects the guard is lying. Misaki arrives, and the fake firebug attacks the siblings. Misaki instructs them to go outside, but they remain trapped inside the house. Polka saves Kazuki and Shizuki before a building collapses. Polka catches a girl pretending to be a housemaid, who attacks Polka with fire. Lemmings kills her and keeps the incident a secret. The police arrest a fire-breathing bug, who is going to prison. His body burns, and the cops escape before it explodes. Episode 7. Polka, Razan, and Misaki gathered in a room. Razan urged Corpse God to share the truth about Polka, leading to Corpse God's request for some privacy. Razan asked his hidden guards to leave. Polka then revealed that he is not from their world and is a corpse god. Meanwhile, Lemmings and Takeru discussed how Polka had already saved the children. Razan accused Misaki of trying to harm his son. In a tense moment, Polka, taking the form of a stuffed shark toy, intervened to prevent an attack on Misaki. There he finds out that Corpse God had transferred real Polka's soul into this stuffed shark toy. Razan laughed at the appearance of his son as he looked so small and cute as a toy. The Corpse God said that he had to possess someone else's body so he could give Polka's body back to him. Razan suggests Corpse God to transfer his soul into the body of a robot. Seeing this, real Polka also demands a robot for his soul too, on which his dad agrees. The siblings express their gratitude to Misaki and Polka for saving them. Later, Ares and a blonde-haired detective, Iwanome, investigated a criminal named Ten. Ten requested Iwanome to grant him a wish, and when the lights went out, Ten vanished. Iwanome explained that Ten had disappeared during the investigation, and Ten referred to himself as a magician. The most significant crime attributed to him was the kidnapping of the Prime Minister, with Ten claiming that he committed crimes for his own amusement. At night, Polka bought a radio for 2,000 yen, and they listened to the news. The broadcast was suddenly hijacked by the famous magician Ten, who had escaped from prison. Ten summoned a fire-breathing bird to a building and attempted to attack it with a card, but the card burned instead. Back in the apartment, Polka shared stories about his world and recommended a book with similar tales. Meanwhile, the fire-breathing bird attacked Ten, who defended himself using his cards. Episode 8. Seo, Polka's niece, and Zioyu, Polka's father's guard, live in Polka's apartment after a house fire. Polka visits Seo, who also burns her room, and she wishes to sleep more. Then the scene shifts to Iwanome and Ares comes into the real house of Polka where they investigate yesterday's incident. Takeru and Ares consider cooperation after police investigations, but Takeru remains concerned about their involvement. Ares shares a photo of Polka's family, suspecting Misaki's link to a gang member's murder due to a footprint found at the scene. Zioyu eavesdrops on Polka, Takumi, and Misaki's discussions and expresses a willingness to kill for the family. In the past, Zioyu's life was saved when Razan offered money and technology in exchange for it. Iwanome and Razor uncover Polka's photo and Misaki's footprint at various crime scenes. Ten is publicly arrested and then escapes. Iwanome and Razor knock on Ten's door and enter his apartment. In the apartment, we saw Iwanome and Razor knock on the door and come inside the room. Episode 9. Iwanome was off duty and wanted to know his fortune, and Polka mentioned he protects people from dangers. The magical pen wrote a strange symbol, startling Iwanome briefly. Zioyu noticed Iwanome's odd behavior and followed them. Meanwhile, someone tried to take a paper from a locker, but a fire-breathing bug appeared, causing destruction. Ten arrived and took the paper with him. Then we saw that Iwanome and Clarissa were talking about a person named you-know-who, and he won't give up so easily on Ghost. He said that his friend Hosorogi was the one who only knew his secret. In the apartment, we know that Hosorogi was no other than the ghost inside the pen. Misaki asked him to tell more about that sign, but he told them to pay 1 million yen for his services. On the other hand, Zayoi was spying on Clarissa and Iwanome from the roof of the bar. Then we see Ten, who pays a visit to the grocer in prison and shows him the sign he found earlier. But the grocer told him to pay for service or give him important information in exchange. Then grocer tells him that the cross lines in the sign represent swords. He said if you want to know more you have to pay for it. Episode 10. Polka experiences a flashback to his past when a girl showed him the emblem of his empire. In the present, he notices the same symbol on numerous hot air balloons above the city. People on the internet discuss the need to prevent the public from learning the symbol's true significance. Iwanome discusses the involvement of Hasorogi with Ten and the police headquarters. Meanwhile, Ten contacts Grocer to obtain complete information. Grocer demands an exorbitant fee of 3 trillion yen, leaving Ten shocked. Grocer explains that the price varies based on the customer's lifespan and asserts that someone entirely profit-driven could amass 6 trillion yen in their lifetime. However, for other customers, the information would cost only a few dozen yen. An unknown sniper takes a shot at Ten, but it turns out to be a puppet. Ten offers a reward of 300 million yen to anyone who provides information about the sign. In the apartment, Seo takes a bath. Misaki joins her and asks if she ordered a hit on Polka. Seo claims her obsession with sharks is all that matters to her. Takumi speculates that Ten might be from another world, but Polka disagrees. Takumi, referring to himself as an identification wizard because he can gather information from the internet, offers to handle the investigation. Meanwhile, at the police headquarters, the superintendent general discusses the incident related to Ten, and he assigns Iwanome to oversee the case, warning him not to make any mistakes. Later, Ten talks to a girl on the phone who mentions an attempt to hack the police system. Ten finds this intriguing and expresses a desire to know more about his fortune. Episode 11. Then we see some kids at fortune-telling shop and Ten is also there, but he has changed his appearance. Then Ghost Pen tells that some assassin killed him before he was about to find out about the symbol. Then Ten comes to know about his fortune and asks Polka about the symbol, so the Ghost Pen corrects the lines in the symbol and makes the original one. After this, Polka asks Ten about a ghost of a girl having pigtails and she uses a wheelchair. Hearing this, Ten got completely shocked. Polka said that her ghost was following Ten everywhere. In the police station, we saw 2 junior detectives come there and say to Iwanome that he just knew how to relax and put other people to work hard for him. Iwanome said that at least he has a higher position so he can order people around him. Junior detectives tries to attack Iwanome, but Aries grabs his hand and tries to break it, but Iwanome tells him to stop. Then an officer brings Iwanome into a separate room and tells them that Ten's video already got them at their edge. He said that he can't cover him more than this. Then Iwanome leaves the room and other detectives join him. At night, Ten comes to the roof of the apartment's building. Zayoi also comes there and attacks Ten, but Ten defends himself every time. Polka dreams of a dragon taking over his country and burning his country's emblem. A black skeleton apologizes to his master for not saving them. Shark Toy wakes up and warns Polka of a burning smell. Polka is called by a fire-breathing bug, leaving him shocked. Ten tells Zayoi it's 3 a.m. and he has to go and sleep, but he attacks him with his finger blades. From a distance, someone is watching them. Episode 12. Polka, a detective, discovers Zayoi and Ten fighting on a rooftop. Lemmings appears to kill Ten, but Takeru instructs him not to harm Zayoi, Rosin's guard. Ten escapes using a smokescreen and giant gas balloons. 2 detectives find a girl in a white coat near the building who lies about searching for their dog. Then the scene cuts and we see that master of Polka. She said that Polka was an innocent boy and he cared so much about the children and families, but one day he lost control over his magical power and became the mightiest corpse god. The scene then shifts to Polka, who makes invisible hands to catch Lemmings and Ten. As Polka didn't have much power, his force didn't take effect on Lemmings, so he tried to catch Ten. But Ten runs away from him, as he failed to catch both of them. But Polka somehow manages to catch the fire-breathing bird who was present in the street. At the end, a girl watches the whole footage of invisible hands and says that now things are getting interesting.